Are you ready to monetize your content? Then this video is going to teach you the steps that you need to monetize your content and also learn a ratio that is proven to help you get your content monetized. Let's gain that skill. Hey, I want to welcome you back to another episode of Passive Gains for Life, where we teach you the mindset, the skill set, the tool set, so you can get the assets earning you passive gains for life. I'm your boy Roger. We got the team back. What's up, team? How y'all doing?
We're doing good.
I'm good.
Yeah, last week they ditched me, but it's okay. You know, I ain't
I
gonna hold
almost
no
made it.
grudges. Nah, almost doesn't count. You gotta hear that song. Nah, I'm joking with you. These guys, they had something going on individually, and it just falls down like that every now and again. But the show must go on. But I am so happy to have all of you guys back. It sucks doing this by myself, but it's all good though. It's good. I
Yeah.
like seeing y'all smiling faces here. So I don't want to belabor this point too long, but we need to learn these skills to help us monetize our content. So if you're a content creator and you've been consistently putting content out there and you're ready to actually see some money start coming in, Alex Hormozi, the content king, the branding genius of our time, has released his training, which I am encouraging you to go watch yourself because this is going to be an overview of that. So last week I covered posting your content. This is part two, which is monetizing your content. So it's going to be dealing with some of the same principles, just going a little bit deeper into the strategies that you need to get your content monetized so that way you can get some income coming in. And there is a ratio to doing this. So you can't just be like, hey, give me some money and I'll give you something to watch. No, there's actually a scientific method to this. And we're going to get into that today. So, first things first, when we go into this video, you're going to see the core four. So the core four, just to give you a brief explanation of that, is the four ways that you reach your audience, right? You have warm outreach, you have cold outreach, you have post free content, and you have run paid ads. And he has a little graphic here. You are here. So he's explaining at this point, when you're posting your content, your free content, there is a ratio that you do to actually ask for monetization. Now, anybody know who Gary Vee is?
Mhm.
No, who's that?
You don't know who Gary
What?
Vee is, girl?
No.
Oh
Oh
wow.
man.
Well, Gary Vee, like I call Alex Hormozi the branding genius of our time. Gary Vee is like the marketing genius of all time. Like this man, he
He's got a lot of good words of wisdom.
yeah, he's got a lot of good words of wisdom.
Like for family, that one episode, Instagram, he's talking about his daughter.
Uh,
You remember?
Gary
It,
Vee, if I can explain Gary
about his daughter.
Vee, like how he talks, he is the most loving pirate you've ever met. He will say F you and tell you to be friendly and kind, all in the same words. Like, but Gary Vee is just Gary Vee. You can't really describe him sometimes. But what he does is Gary Vee wrote a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, right? And in this is how reciprocity works. So Alex Hormozi breaks it down. He says deposit, 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 withdraw. So basically, what you're doing is you're depositing value and then you deposit again and then you deposit again and then you ask. So you can't just make you can't just make content and be like, hey, yeah, I got this thing, I want you to buy it. Right? You need to be able to provide value for your audience and continue to provide value and provide value and then provide value. And then ask, hey, I got this thing going on. If people would like to participate, here's how. Click my link. Da 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 da. Right? It's the law of reciprocity. What is that? Very quick example. You're walking into a gas station or a convenience store, and it's you and another person, and there's double doors. You go in You are first. You open up the door for the person that's coming in. Here you go. Then they immediately open the door for you for the second set of double doors. This happens to me all the time because I'm that guy. Especially if I see a lady walking in, I hold the door for her, let her walk in, and then if there's a double door, she'll hold the door for me, and I thank you,
Mm,
and then I'll walk in. That's the law of reciprocity in practice. Well, the same thing also happens when you give good content. So even if your content is about, I don't know, water bottles, right, or how to recycle water bottles, and you're sharing all of this good information, and you're just sharing and sharing and sharing and sharing, eventually people will actually come to you and say, hey, do you have something that I can, like, that's something I can contribute to, something I could pay you for? Because you're giving me such great content, I feel like I have to give you something back. And
Mhm.
I've been told this by my mentor. He's like, hey man, make sure that you have a PO box available, because when people see your content and people see your stuff, and as you grow on your channel, people just want to send you stuff. They want to
mm,
send you gifts. They want to send you t-shirts. They want to send you pictures. Like, people just want to give you. And that is a telltale sign that whatever you're doing is correct.
mm.
If people don't give you anything, you suck. No, not necessarily. Yeah, you do suck, but you may not suck in a bad way. You just suck in a way that nobody really cares about. So you need to suck
Or you
less.
probably didn't reach the audience as
Or
yet.
or you probably didn't reach your audience. And
Hmm.
another key indicator, if your audience is not growing, if your audience is like at, yeah, if you got 400 plus videos on your channel and you have 20 or 30 plus people on your channel, something's wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You either really suck at making content, or you're not giving enough value that the people who are watching your content wants to be a part of. So it's all about giving than receiving. And here we're talking about monetizing the content that you have. But you must tackle that point first. You need to figure out if your content is good enough for people to want to purchase something from you. So you have to do some sort of self examination for that. And I'm encouraging everyone to do that. So let's move on. So actually, this ratio is something that's studied across platforms as well, right? So per 60 minutes, they give 3.6 to 1. So 47 minutes of content and 13 minutes of commercials. 13 minutes of commercials seems like a lifetime, especially if
Yeah.
you're just trying to watch something for a half hour and you're like, ugh, another commercial break.
I
And
remember those commercials. Like
Yeah.
every time I'm watching my TV show, I'm like, oh my goodness, every 2 minutes or 3 minutes, bam, commercial.
But it never bothered me. It's so funny
I
how
know
back in the
it
day.
never it
Yeah,
yeah,
give me a time to run to the kitchen, grab a snack, go
correct.
uh-huh.
and use the bathroom or whatever the case might be.
And then
Yeah.
can and then, digest the information or whatever you're
Yeah.
watching. But
Hmm.
now it's
Yeah.
just straight overload content.
Yeah. So what happened then, they understood that, hey, if we place the ad in this TV program, we can definitely get people to actually pay attention to what it is that we need, and then get them back to the TV program. So they had a formula,
Hmm.
right? And the formula was this. We're going to all right, so let's say you're watching like Spider-Man, like the old school Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah.
so he was just about he just gotten to this point where he is actually falling and his web shooter is out. And he's like, ah, it's like, especially if it was a cartoon, commercial break. And you're like, ah, now I gotta
Cliffhanger.
wait through this commercial break. And you just kind of sit there because you don't want to miss it when it comes
Right,
back. You're
right. You
like,
don't want to miss
Mm.
it.
did he fall? Did he save himself? You already know he's gonna save himself. But you still sit there and you
But
Yeah.
just,
how?
you
How is he
know,
gonna get out of this?
you just let the commercials just burn a hole through the center of your head, and you be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how you know all of these jingles, right? And then commercial comes back. All right, I mean, commercial's over. Fine. Well, you could do the same thing on social media platforms. It's the
Mhm.
same way. You just have to find a formula. Now, I'm going to share with you the formula right now. Excuse the interruption. I'll make this quick. The economy is jacked up right now. Inflation is at an all-time high. Living is expensive. What you need right now is a second income, but you don't have time to get a second job, nor will they pay you what you're worth anyway. I say pay yourself by starting an online business. It's not as hard as you think. You don't need any experience, nor do you need to be tech savvy. You only need 3 things: a working internet connection, about 30 minutes or more a day, and a willingness to earn money online. How much does it cost? About 89 cents a day for the month. You would spend more money in gas driving to a second job than you would on this. There's no risk at all. So if this sounds interesting to you, click the link below, mark pay myself. Let's get back to the show. So on Facebook, it's per 5 post per pie per 5 posts, 4
Mhm.
to 1. So every 4 pieces of content, you get 1 ad. And Facebook is huge, man. And Facebook is like a marketing beast. Like he even reminded me in this training, like Facebook is 20 years old. Think
Really?
about that. 20 years old. Facebook.
Yeah, it's crazy how I remember the old Facebook and now the new
Queenie,
one.
Queenie,
Oh
Queenie.
my
When
goodness.
Facebook came out, you were 7.
I know, but the thing is, when I started using Facebook, I remember I was like 14 when I created a Facebook profile, and the stuff that we did
14?
with this stuff,
I'm
the
still
stuff that we, you know what, guys,
Yeah.
the stuff that I did on Facebook back then versus now, it's like, whoa.
Well, shoot. First of all, like when I was 14, I was still sitting in front of a PC screen listening to like just waiting to get on the internet. I'm like, it's loading up.
That sound was kind of
Oh, it's
exciting
now
for
it's
me.
connecting. Like it took us 5 minutes to
Hmm.
even get online.
Yep,
Like,
you had that US robotics modem to sign you
yeah.
in. Yeah.
And then when it would disconnect, you'd be like, why did it disconnect? And then you hear your mom talking to somebody. You're like, I can't even use the internet now.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had to share the phone with the internet.
Yes.
I forgot about
Yes.
that.
Man, my 14 versus your 14 is vastly different. You're
Yeah,
like,
but
my
I
face.
even though I signed up for Facebook, we didn't have access to the internet. We had to go like over by our neighbor
Mm,
to sign up. I remember the big old, the big computer with the
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
I
the, the
remember signing.
the computer with a back. Your computer had a turtle shell.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to describe it, but I remember, and it took
A
forever.
tower.
Like it was so slow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so
Well,
we sign up over there.
little did we know back then, right?
Yeah.
That people were making money with content.
Mm-hmm.
People were making money with monetization on
Yes.
content. Like I had no idea that people were like creating millions and millions of dollars off of web pages. And let
Mm-hmm.
alone when Facebook came around, that was the birth of internet 2.0, right? So my age, my 14 was internet 1.0, static pages. 2.0 is YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, where people could actually share and do,
Collaborate.
yeah, collaborate, right? And then now there's 3.0.
Is that
3.0
the
is upon us. It's going to be AI. It's going to be an
central
entirely
banking?
new way of creating content, making money, and owning everything. Well, I don't want to get into that.
Is that
That's
that
Web
digital
3.0.
currency?
Yeah, it's got some stuff to deal with that, but we won't get into that. We're talking about this stuff here, this monetizing content. So here's why, and well, this also explains why TikTok is so massive, right? Because TikTok does this give ask ratio as well. And for everybody who doesn't understand, is growing so rapidly because they give for years, right? Back when it was musically, it would just give. Now TikTok is becoming a growing platform where now you're starting to see ads. Like now when I turn on my TikTok, there's an ad sitting right there. And you can
Mm,
scroll past it, but that ad is there. And then you see the TikTok shop, right? Then you see
Yeah.
all of those little things that come up in between. But TikTok is known for giving a lot of content, and people just scroll. You can scroll to your thumbs bleed sometimes before you would even see an ad. Like for the longest time, I would use TikTok and I would not see ads. But now ads are there. Nobody's really stressing it. So in order for you to perform, what can you learn from that? How does knowing that TikTok gives a lot of value and then ask for some sort of exchange of monetization, this is how you can implement it. You give, and then you ask. That is the basis of how to monetize your content. Now, there are tactical ways to monetize your content that this training does not truly go into, but understanding this, and I can understand why Alex chose this, is because he decided to say, hey, if you can understand the fundamentals, like this training is literally the fundamentals of how to monetize your content. But then there are so many different ways to monetize your content. He's giving you the how to, right? The things that you would not learn just by observing. These are the intangibles that he's highlighting in this training. So I'm going to encourage you once again, please go see the training on this. This is just an overview. I'm giving you the breakdown from my perspective, how we understand it here and how we plan to apply it to our creative, journeys on our various different platforms. So give until they ask. You are great. Can I pay you? Yes, I accept money. Some people will literally ask you, like I said before, can you can do you have something that I could buy? Do you have something I could participate in? How can I pay you back because you've given me so much value? And then there's another way to do it as well. The give ask ratio. How Alex does it is he gives in public and asks in private. That way your reputation is based purely on giving. And he shares like a tweet that he did. Says, bottom line, the moment you start asking for money is the moment you decide to slow down your growth. So the more patient you are, the more you will get when you finally make your ask. So for years, Alex Hormozi, and to be honest, I've known of Alex Hormozi for at least 2 years now, right? And before, it's true. One of the famous lines he would say, I am Alex Hormozi and I have nothing to sell you, right? And you'd be like, then why are you on here? Especially when there's a part of creating content where you get to see behind the curtain more the more you do it. Like Dave got this how should I say it? Realization after he saw like what we were doing to build our content, and it's like it it untethers you from just watching content. Like
mhm,
before, I used to get on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and I would just watch stuff.
yeah.
And then I go find something to do. Now I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here.
Yeah.
He's asking for this. Oh, she's putting this here because she wants, I get it. They're
The
talking
little
about this because they want
strategies.
to lead you here. Oh, I get that. Oh, I'm starting to see how it works. So when Alex Hormozi, when I found his content, I was already starting to see the behind the scenes. So when he would be like, I am Alex Hormozi and I have nothing to sell you, I'm like, I gotta
Mm.
watch this video all the way through because I want to see what he's gonna sell me because he's here to sell me something.
Yeah.
Hey, that's like, Amazon now. I don't look at Amazon the same how I used
Yeah.
to. It's like I used to go there to purposely buy something. Now I'm
Uh,
like, "I'm gonna buy something, but let me look at this guy's video." Like, I don't know how to explain it, but now I'm, like, tearing apart when I'm
good
looking
good
at
job. That's what you're
Amazon.
supposed to be doing when you're trying to learn new skills. You're supposed to be picking stuff apart, examining it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be doing that kind of stuff. That shows that you're actually growing with your knowledge when you're trying to do things like that. So,
Or I like to look at people's styles when they're trying to persuade me to buy that
mhm,
object or whatever it is.
mhm,
I'm like, "I like this guy's technique.
mhm.
I wanna apply that to mine," which I still haven't gotten set
Mm,
up.
don't worry, bro. It comes with time. It's steps. So with Alex Hormozy, when I would watch his content, it was true. He was not selling you on anything. And I'm sitting there, I'd be like, so he really isn't trying to sell you. He's just giving a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of value that I can use. But in reality, if you had reached out to him, he had this huge business that he was growing in the background, acquiring other people's businesses that he helps them grow because that's what he effectively did with his business. He grew gyms, and then when he would like help people sell off those gyms, and I mean the guy's good, man. He's been
Yes,
doing this for a long time.
I think he's just basically building people's trust with him, building the trust, building the foundation for everything. And
Hmm.
then when he does offer something, you feel comfortable that you can trust him that this advice is good.
Exactly right. That's
Yeah, I
exactly
think
right.
I think so too, because recently he posted a video, a company that he invested his money in.
Hmm.
He helped them, I guess, basically with their marketing, and it's literally skyrocket their sales. Of
Hmm.
course, when it skyrocket their sales, of course, he's making more money because he
Mhm,
already invested in this company.
Hmm.
And so it shows that, oh my goodness. And so he taking his, of course, he probably get paid to do
mhm.
it.
Of
Just
course.
imagine, of
Yeah.
course. And then not just getting paid to do it because he already invested into this company. That's
Hmm.
more money there. So
Yeah.
just
Correct.
imagine, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
And
it's a win-win for both because you're
exactly,
helping the person build their dream, and then he's also helping on the back end, and then when they sell, he gets a piece of that pie.
yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's great.
And you know what? I want to lay this out for anybody who is new to this channel and also new to this space of online business or whatever journey that you're in, right? And if you're watching us, you're probably wanting to learn how to make money in some way, shape, or form online. Well, here's the thing, there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it, right? It has been discovered that you can provide value for people without having to ask them, hey, can you buy my thing? If you just give people the information that they need, people will just want to help you out because you help them out. It's literally just giving freely and not expecting anything in return, and then in return you're going to give. It's basically it's a biblical law. If
yeah,
you give, it'll be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over.
Mhm.
Like
hmm,
it is a law, and whenever you can do it properly, right, people are going to give to you because you're giving to them. So
Yeah,
if you have a way to give and give freely,
that
right?
was you and I. You
Yeah.
remember when I helped you out to come over to my place,
Hmm.
I just wanted to help you make better money and be in a
Yeah.
better place, and now look, you're giving back to me by helping me out in the podcast.
Oh
You're
yeah,
making money.
bro. Cause see, I wasn't even gonna say that. I was thinking about me just giving you a hard time, but dang, freely given, freely received. I always give Dave a hard time, no matter
Mhm,
what. And I got a story to share with you after the show. So, going back to this, right?
mhm.
There is a way how to ask, right? There's a method how to ask. He's like, if you're going to ask in public, here's my preference. Think of ads like commercials. You interrupt your own value with commercials about the stuff you sell. Plain and simple.
Mhm.
So if you're going to ask, just interrupt your own content. We, if you've been watching this video this long, you've seen one of my ask in the videos, right? So that's how that works. And there's an integrated right way of doing it. So to integrate it, you can advertise in every piece of content so long as you keep your give is so long as you keep your give and ask ratio high, you will continue to grow your warm audience and get engaged leads. Win win. Example: if you make an hour-long podcast, having 3 times 30-second ads means I'll have 58.5 minutes of giving to 1.5 minutes of asking, well above the 3.31 ratio. Okay, so Alex speaks with numbers. I am not a number heavy person in the ratio stuff. So basically, if you give more, right? If you give more content and you put little ask in between and you space them out evenly, then it'll be less of a burden on your audience when they see your content and they're like, okay, if he's interrupting me constantly, it's not good, right?
Right.
And a lot of people who like, I'm bougie. I haven't seen the YouTube ad in years because I have a YouTube Premium. I'm like so bougie. Like my kids be in school, when they be on their lunch break, and they be like, "What? You don't have no commercials?" They be like, "Nah, my dad has YouTube Premium, so I'm on that account." So I completely I've removed ads from my life. However, when you're watching people's content, and there's a lot of people who have great content, a lot of podcasts out there, they give their own particular commercials in the content. Like they just drop it right down in the middle. So he gives a bunch of different ways. Like he goes into more of the integrated half and the intermittent half. And I'm just gonna put them here on the screen, but we're gonna keep going. As like I
Hey,
said,
Roger.
huh?
I gotta go.
Oh, Queenie has to go. Not a problem,
Yeah.
Queenie.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, no worries.
Baby
No
boy.
worries. Hey, Queenie, we thank you. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
But
Yes. Sorry about this.
no,
No
no,
worries,
go
no
do your
worries.
thing, man. Hey, we're gonna keep rocking with this. Queenie gonna drop off, but it's all good. And you tell your husband and you tell your baby I said hey.
All right. No problem.
All
Peace
right,
Alrighty,
out,
take care,
Queenie.
guys.
Queenie.
See ya.
All right. All right. So moving on, Dave. It's just me and you.
Hey, I gotta go to church. Bye.
We don't have that much longer, dude.
Nah,
We'll
I was
we'll be
kidding.
out of here real soon. So I'm gonna move on with this. He goes into how you can do it from a lead magnet,
Mhm.
and he also explains how you can just do it from an offer. So sometimes you might have you can refer to a lead magnet into your content. You could be like, hey, you know what? I'm explaining these steps, but I have another piece of information that if you want to download it here, you can go and get that. It's completely free. Use that, and that'll help you further the understanding of what I'm giving you here. That's his example. Also, he has an offer example that if you go straight for the juggler, as he says, I'm looking for five specific people to achieve some sort of dream outcome. This is the best part. You don't have any effort or sacrifice. Da 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 da. He goes through the whole string here. I have it here on the screen so you can see it. Now that is going directly for the sale instead of
Mhm.
going through the lead magnet part. So that's another way that you can monetize your content. And remember, all of this is strategies for you to implement to use in your content. But I want to continue to highlight the point. You want to give, give, then ask. And it might be just 3 gives. It could be 4 gives or 5 gives. But if you're brand new and you're starting out, you might want to just continuously give before you start to ask.
Mhm.
That's what we've been doing for like how long? This
Uh,
October.
will be 1 year.
Yeah. And we started creating ads on our content this last month? At the end of last month?
I believe so. I've always, my whole life, I've always done that philosophy with always helping people out in
Mhm.
general. and I never expect anything in return. Just once, if you can or can't help me, that's great. But it's worked for me in my
Hmm.
regular life, so I don't see why I can't work on the YouTube or
Yeah.
anything
Well,
social media.
it would work like that, but there's a way and a how to do it. Because remember, um,
Like he said, though, if you're going into it for money,
yeah.
they'll sniff that out. But
Hmm.
if you're doing it just genuinely just to help people,
Hmm.
it will return just later. Once
Yeah.
they feel that trust, they feel like you're knowledgeable, they're gonna wanna give back because they don't want you to go anywhere. They wanna support you.
Yeah, especially when you're able to build some sort of relationship with the people who you attract,
Mhm.
right? And if you attract good people, more than likely you're going to attract the people who are like you,
Yeah.
right? And if you have good intentions, you're going to attract people with good intentions. And if you have bad intentions, well, you already know how that's going to work.
Mhm.
But not everybody necessarily gets on the internet for bad intentions. Not necessarily gets on for good intentions. Some people absolutely have no idea. They just want to create something and they literally don't care about any of this stuff. They're just doing it, and then those are the ones who are like, like making it big, right?
Yeah.
They just be like, "Man, I just want to go in here and just do my thing," and the next thing you know, they got like they're driving a Porsche and living in this gigantic mansion. You be like, they sold out. Be like,
No,
no,
I think it's their passion. They're so
E-
passionate about it, people feed off
exactly,
of that.
exactly, and your passion bleeds through the camera. And if you
Mhm.
want to learn more about how to develop an on camera presence, leave that in the comment below. Like if you're new to making content or you're good at making content and you want to get better on camera, list some ways that you think you can get better on camera. Or if you have any questions about that, list that in the comments below. I'm interested to know how that might work for you.
Yeah, because I
So
have a master class on being quiet in the background.
well, there's ways to do it, Dave. But if you
Ah,
follow the prescription that I gave you,
I know,
you
I know.
would be better. But Dave, you have to put it into practice in order for it to work.
Mhm.
It's just like taking medicine, right?
I don't
If
like taking
somebody
medicine.
gives you instructions, yeah, if somebody gives you instructions, or let's say you sick, right?
Mhm,
You're sick and you want to get better, and your doctor says, "Hey, do this 3 times a day for 7 days a week, and I promise you'll see an upturn in your health."
mhm.
But if you take your medicine every other day, or you skip entire weeks and you still remain sickly, you can't blame the doctor. You
Mhm.
blame the person who's not taking the medicine. I've given you the medication.
I don't like drugs.
Well, say no to drugs, kids. Say no to drugs. All right. So in the training, he sums it up, right? He says, so you need to pick a strategy. You need to either do an integration or intermittent strategy, and you need to find out if you have a magnet or a core offer. Then get to giving back. So when you do make your offer, right? When you do make your ask, after you give, you can either integrate it, or you can do an intermittent strategy, or you could do a lead magnet or core offer. It's up to you. But then you have to get right back to giving. Right. And like I said, this is an overview. So go and watch the training so you get the full understanding. All right. So this last little point here, and then we're going to wrap it up, is how to scale your content. Now, I am not by any means in the category where I can explain this in depth the way he does, but I'm going to give it to you the way I understood it. Right. So scaling your content all depends on your skill level. Right. So there's two ways you can do this. You can go deep and then wide, or you can go wide and then deep. And how basically what this means is pick one platform,
Mhm.
right? One platform means that you're about to go deep on that platform. You're going to go so deep into that platform. Go deep on the platform. Step one, post content on a relevant platform. That could be YouTube, Facebook, your choice. Step two, post content regularly on that platform. That means every day, once a week, once a month. As long as it's regular, find a schedule that works for you. Step three, maximize the quality and the quantity of that content on that platform, short form. You may sometimes be able to get up to 10 times per day on the platform. Long form, you may have to get up to 5 times per week. See soap opera. So he's basically giving you an example or a formula, right? Here, we're moving up to doing more content on this platform because we're deciding to go deep on this platform. Step four, add another platform while maintaining the quality and quantity on the first platform. So this basically meaning if you're posting all of your content here on YouTube and then you decide to bridge it over to TikTok, that's fine. So real simple step. Here's one of my action plans. This is how I plan to do it. I'm going to take all of these long form videos that I have, then I'm going to break them down into smaller videos and post them on TikTok because I have a catalog of videos I can go back into, and then I can break little snippets of those videos and make them formatted for TikTok so that way they're consumable, and then I can bring people back to my long form videos here on YouTube. And I can actually use YouTube Shorts. So the YouTube Shorts versus the TikTok, all of that can work to helping grow your content and scaling your content. Because when you scale your content, you get more views and
Mm,
more people to see you and understand you, know you, and then trust you. And when they see the value that you're giving, they're going to eventually ask you or look for ways to give back to you.
mm,
The law of reciprocity. Step five, repeat steps 1 through 4 until all relevant platforms are maximized. Now he gives some pros and cons on this. Maximize return on your effort is a pro. Audiences compound faster, fewer resources. Cons, less low hanging fruit, no omnipresence, single channel dependencies. So basically, what that means on the cons is like you're only on one platform. Yeah, only on YouTube, right?
yeah.
That's the only place they can find you. And then everything is basically in one place. But if you're a beginner, like I said, I prefaced this in the beginning. If you're a beginner, this is how you want to do it. You want to go deep into the platform, then you want to go wide, right? You want to suck less, suck less, suck less. Shut up, Dave. And eventually you're not as bad as when you first started. And then you start getting good. You start finding your voice. You start understanding how you can make content, how you can make videos. Then the quality of your videos gets better, right? So you have to do you it's just like going to the gym. You have to do small reps, right? Before you go and put the entire gym on your back. You have to start small and then get better over time. Same thing with content. You have to figure out how to make the content. Does this work? Does my audience like it? Am I growing? You have to ask yourself these questions before you can start spreading across other platforms, because if you do, if you suck really bad at making content and then you spread that all over the place,
Yeah.
guess
Spreading
what?
yourself
People know
thin.
you suck.
Yeah. Faster.
That too, you can spread yourself thin because you don't know what you're doing, and a lot of it can take a lot out of you, and a lot of people gas out and they never get past, they give up before they can actually gain something back. So if you feel like you're in that mode, take a step back, figure out what you need to do, and go deep, then go
Mm.
wide.
I
All
think
right.
the TikTok has helped me
Mm-hmm.
to understand social media better.
Mm-hmm.
And now my TikTok it's growing, but slow, but
Mm-hmm.
it's good. I'm getting feedback. I'm sorry, guys, that I don't respond to as many.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm just trying to figure out how do I transition into YouTube. Maybe I don't know, notate something that I want to eventually open up a YouTube channel I don't know, cars or whatever, my other interests,
Well,
and then bring my
it's
audience there?
well, you have to test it.
Mhm.
You have to do some tests, and we can get into that off air.
Okay.
But there's some testing methods that you can use to figure out what to do and how to do it and how to grow it. But if you're trying to make that transition, is like I told you, if you're going from TikTok shorts,
Mhm.
go to YouTube shorts.
Oh, okay, okay.
Get what I'm saying?
I
Because YouTube is primarily long form, but now that YouTube is starting to get into short form content, you can make a bridge over from TikTok to YouTube. That is depending on where you started. Like you at home, if you started on YouTube first, a lot of people are starting to make YouTube shorts for the first time ever interacting with social media. So they actually using YouTube shorts. And then they might want to bridge that over to TikTok. They can do that.
mm,
And TikTok is starting to go long form. Their long form videos are starting to be more of a thing where the algorithm is saying, hey, I want to show everybody more long form videos. So if your video is 10 minutes or longer, TikTok is starting to bleed into the long form area, and YouTube is starting to bleed into the short form area.
mhm,
So it's kind of like this crossover happening. So you could do you could do what you need to do. You know, right now is a great time to put all this stuff into play. However, I want to stress that if you're trying to monetize your content, right, based off of the training that Alex Hormozi is giving here, if you're familiar with the platform, stay there. Go as deep as you can on it. Get better, then grow out to other
make
different platforms.
yeah,
That
make that
makes more
transition.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's the opposite end of that, right? So here's how to do it by going the opposite way. You can go wide then deep. 1 through 2 is basically the same. I'm sorry. Step 3, here's where the strategy differs from the one before. Instead of maximizing your content, instead of maximizing your first platform, move into the next platform, next relevant platform while maintaining the previous. And then step 4, continue until you are on all relevant platforms. And step 5, now maximize your content creation on all platforms. Now, here's the pros: broader audience, faster, repurpose with little effort. Cons: more attention, time, and labor can be effective. Often, lots of bad content everywhere. So like I said before, if you start to go wide and you suck, more, let me put it in simple terms. If you suck and you decide to go with width more than depth, more people are going to know that you suck.
Mhm.
You don't want that.
Yep. That's why I like to go deep. No, hey,
Oh,
man, that makes
Dave.
total sense because you stay I like that analogy. Go deep, master that,
Mm-hmm.
build your audience. Now people know you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not widely known, but
Mm-hmm.
you have a nice, comfortable audience that trusts you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can slowly expand to YouTube or wherever. I think honestly liked honestly didn't like TikTok, but
Mm-hmm.
now I'm seeing how powerful it is and
Mm-hmm.
how many people's eyes are on there
Mm-hmm.
that I am growing, and then I can slowly transition into like what you told me, YouTube Shorts,
Mm-hmm.
and then expand from there into YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that plan.
Yeah.
So,
Give as much value as you can. Tell people the secrets, tell people the trades, tell people the understanding, show them how to do it. Then repeat that process, rinse and repeat that process one more time. It's like making good rice. You go and you wash your rice, then you wash it again, and then you wash it one more time for good measure. Then you can eat all that yummy rice when you get ready. Right? Content. I'm giving you the value. I'm going to give you even more value. Matter of fact, I'm going to throw even more value on that and be like, oh, yeah, by the way, I got this one thing that I got going on. If you're interested, get it. And then you go right back to giving value. And what happens is you create a loop, because if you're creating valuable content, guess what? People are going to watch it,
mhm,
right? The more free stuff that you give away, you're going to retain paying customers, because the person that sees your content may not buy the first time they see your offer. They may not buy the second time they see your offer, or the third or the fourth or the fifth. But because there's more stuff that keeps them coming back to see you, right? You giving something new every week, every day, every hour,
Mm,
they're going to come back to see you, and then they're going to be like, you know what, man? My boss pissed me off today, and I want to make a change in my life. And you know what? He got that one thing that I saw that one time. Does he still have it? Clickety click click bought. It happens like that.
mm,
But that's the thing. You never know when it's going to happen. So you just give, 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 give. And then one day people will start giving back to you.
mm. Yeah.
And with that, I want to say, I hope you appreciate this content. I hope we giving you value. I hope that this is making sense to you. And if it doesn't, let me know in the comments below. I can try to clarify this even more. If you want to go deeper on this, we can. Right now, we're just moving through all of the trainings, doing a quick overview. And then after we finish these trainings, I'm probably going to go back through and do the offers book, because the offers book was very, very good. I'm reading that right now. Well, I'm listening to that right now on Spotify. So I want to make sure that you guys have a real good understanding, Dave, you and Queenie. I want to make sure that you have a good understanding, you at home. But it's all about giving. Make
Mhm,
sure you give your butt off before you ask for anything in return. And if you could do that, you can monetize your content. And we're eventually going to get into other ways of how to monetize content, the different forms and methods, how to make your commercial, right? How to create a commercial, or how to create an offer. So I want to say thank you for being here.
mhm.
Make sure you like and subscribe if this video has helped you. Roger, cue the music. Boop. Great. We're going to see you next week, where we're going to be going into the fourth module of training. We'll see you then.